Hi, it's Miss Vynette from the Papa Creek Library, and today's video is going to be about creating your own habitat for a monarch butterfly. Through this habitat, you'll be able to see the 4 stages of the monarch butterfly. You can see the whole cycle, in other words, the complete metamorphosis of the monarch butterfly. So I'm going to show you what you need and how to put that together. The very first thing you need is milkweed. And just kind of turn this around a bit. This is common milkweed. Here's a photo of one in the field. You can find milkweed, common milkweed in fields, prairies, probably in parking lots. This is the flower once it flowers. It's a very large, long flower, very fragrant. This is essential. This is where the female monarch will lay her eggs. And the underside of this leaf is kind of a soft, it's a lighter color than the top is much darker. And it tends in the nature to go up towards the sun and she'll lay that there. But sometimes you'll find one somewhere else. Now milkweed, I'm gonna just break off a piece. Gets its name because it emits this white milky substance that as soon as you'll know you have milkweed when you see this. When you tear the leaf, it comes out. This substance is very bitter, and it protects the monarch and the caterpillars because they feed on this, and it makes them bitter to some predators. However, they have a lot of predators. So this is essential. It's the only place a monarch will lay her eggs, and once you start bringing in an egg, the caterpillar will only eat the milkweed. So this is essential to starting your habitat. So make sure you have a supply of this before you even start to create your habitat. The next thing you're gonna need is, you're gonna need an empty 2-liter bottle. Take the label off so it makes it nice and clear so you can view. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna cut this bottom part off. And I already started this with an X-Acto, so make sure somebody helps you. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut all the way around this bottom until it comes off, and you're gonna be left with just the top. The other thing you're gonna need, and this is a little casing of nylons, little knee sock nylons, you're gonna need nylon. And what that is you're gonna just a little piece off of this nylon, and this is you're gonna put this on the top so the butterfly and the caterpillar gets air, but it's not gonna crawl out, because once they start crawling, they really crawl fast. So you're gonna need rubber bands too, so that you're gonna attach this right on the top with a rubber band, and that'll seal it in place. The next thing you need is you're gonna need either masking tape. I have what's called frog tape or painter's tape, and you're gonna need that because you're gonna seal around, and I'll show you. You see one that's already put together. The next thing you need is, is gonna be these deli containers, and you need the lid on there and the bottom. You're gonna fill this to the top with water. And on the top, you're gonna need to create a hole, puncture a hole. You don't want it to be huge. You want it to be big enough to put your milkweed in. And I will show you what you do on that. So now you've located your milkweed, you need to go hunting for eggs. And on this one, I've put some little tags in here, and there are some eggs here. So I'm going to pull this off as I've gone hunting for one. And I'm gonna show you over on this camera, up close. This is what, it's very tiny. Put under a microscope, this is what the egg looks like. And I kind of have one showing it. It's kind of it starts off really white and then it starts to darken. And the butterfly glues this on the back of the leaf. She lays about 100 eggs. Generally, she just puts 1 per leaf because that caterpillar is very hungry and you don't want a lot of competition eating that. So the first thing you want to do when you find your leaf and bring it home, you usually have a sink. I don't have a sink, but you want to wet a paper towel. And what you're going to do, I've already cleaned these. You want to gently take that water and clean the front and the back of that leaf, because there's a lot of little small insects that could be on there that will harm either the caterpillar when it emerges or that egg. So once it's cleaned, then what you want to do is you want to make a cut here along this stem, and then another cut here, and then I want to cut this tip to allow the water to come in. And then here I've already prepared my deli container with the hole, and I'm going to push this this leaf through the hole all the way down, and I want to make sure it is in the water. It's very important. This leaf needs to stay alive so that this little egg is going to hatch. Now when I bring this home, this egg will take about 3 to 5 days to hatch. And after you watch it, it's way down here, it's going to get darker and darker. When you see that it's black, it's going to hatch. And out will come the tiniest little caterpillar, which is now the larva stage of the butterfly cycle. And he will immediately eat his egg and start eating this leaf. And you're gonna start to see little like pepper on the bottom, and you know it's gonna grow. And this is where you're going to put the top on, and you're gonna take your tape and you're gonna tape all the way around and seal it and watch it. Now this leaf should stay alive until that caterpillar gets bigger, and I'll show you one that's starting to get bigger. Now your caterpillar or your larva stage goes through 5 instars. Sorry, I'm gonna take this off. And this is why you use either masking tape or painter's tape, because it's sticky, but it comes off really easy, and you're gonna be doing this a lot while you take care of your caterpillar. The egg, you don't have to worry too much. It's just once it hatches, and you just want to keep that leaf alive. Now, so now I can easily access my caterpillar, and there you go, there he is. Now this one looks like they go through 5 stages, and the instar means that as he gets bigger, he's going to shed his skin so that he can get bigger. And believe me, they get really big. And at this stage, he's eating a lot. And as you see these droppings, the bigger the caterpillar, the bigger those droppings. That is called frost, is the name they call caterpillar droppings. Now I'm gonna put my caterpillar to the side, and you're gonna want a garbage can. Ugh. So I'm gonna take that leaf and I'm gonna throw it in my garbage can. And then you take a paper towel. Sorry, I'm gonna probably go off camera, and I'm gonna just scoop that off. And now I don't have a sink here on camera, but you're gonna wanna dump that water. You're gonna wanna put fresh water in, and then you're gonna wipe this top. So the next thing I need a brand new leaf. He's getting pretty big, so I might even put 2. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna put 1, and I have some Monarch, some milkweed. And what I've done is I've gone and peeled off a lot from a milkweed plant, and I washed it with my paper towels, and I wrapped it in moist paper towels. And you can store this in the refrigerator, because your caterpillar, its only purpose is to eat, and it is an eating machine. So I figure he's gonna need at least 2 leaves. So I take my leaves, and then again, you can store your milkweed in the refrigerator. Or if you happen to have it outside in your backyard, which I do, it's great because you can just go get it. Now again, I wash these down. Sometimes there's small spiders, small mites, bugs. You don't want that in to harm your caterpillar. And again, I'm slicing it on the side, cutting that tip, and I'm gonna try to put 2 in because he's in the stage where he's gonna start to eat. This is really important when you're raising your caterpillar, is you wanna check on these leaves constantly, because sometimes I'll come down and I'm like, oh my gosh, he ate the whole leaf. Now, I try not to handle him, especially after they've molted, they're very vulnerable. So I just put this little guy back in, you can lean him up against, he will find that. And then I wanna make sure I put my cover, I'm gonna face him towards you. You can see he's already moving around and eating. Okay, oops, he fell. I just kind of lean him up there. And then I'm gonna take my painter's tape And I'm going to wrap it around again. And you can use this tape over and over. It's really great if you make a mistake and tape, because you don't want something so sticky you're really jostling your cage. And you just kind of lightly put them together. Now he has a clean cage. He's ready to start eating again and continue this cycle. The larva stage or the caterpillar stage will take anywhere from 10 to 20 days will be in this stage.
So what you will notice is as this caterpillar grows, he's going to suddenly stop eating. He's going to get really large and he's going to crawl up to the top of your habitat where you're going to see, and he's going to slowly spin a web and attach because he will now be in his last stage. So I'm going to move this over and I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is the 5th instar, and I hope you can see that. This caterpillar went up here last night. He crawled up, he spun a web, he's attached. Now he's hanging upside down in the letter J, and they call this the J stage. Now, he did this last night. Probably in 1 to 2 days, he is now going to change into the chrysalis. He will split at his head. It's amazing if you get to see this, and you'll see the green coming out, his split. He will shed for the last time his skin, and he will now become a chrysalis. And I will show you that stage. So you see, as you created your habitat, now you can see everything through. I'm going to spin this around so you can see that. And this caterpillar changed into a chrysalis. And this stage will be about 10 to 14 days. If you get a close-up, you can look at these in books. It's amazing. This caterpillar is now a chrysalis, green. It has gold dots around it. This is also called the pupa stage, and it means to wait, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait 10 to 14 days. That will get darker and darker, and this is before it will turn into its final stage, the butterfly.
So this caterpillar has now split its skin, turned in this green, and it's amazing when you see this. It has these beautiful gold dots here. Now, as you wait, like I said, it takes about 10 to 15 days. You're going to see this transformation of the chrysalis. So I will be watching. It's going to turn darker and darker. It's going to look really black, and then it turns translucent. And you can actually see the monarch forming inside that chrysalis. When the monarch emerges, it'll emerge and it hangs there upside down, and its leaves will come out all crinkled. It takes a while for it to pump some life back in there, flapping its wings. Usually 2 to 4 hours, the wings have to dry before you want to release your butterfly into the wild. It's fun to name them. Something I want to point out, what I do is I write on Post-it notes, or you can make a little drawing, and I write the date that I find the egg, so I know 3 to 5 days that egg should hatch. If it doesn't, then you're gonna know that you didn't get a great egg, or maybe you picked something that wasn't an egg. And then I also write when it hatches, so I know how long for the cycle of the larva and so on. I'm gonna show you another shot of when the butterfly emerges. It's really cool, is then you can tell if it's a male or a female. So down here is a female, and you can tell when they open their wings, she has thicker veins in her wings, and her abdomen's a little different. But here's the key for the male. The veins are thinner, but this is the key. There are 2 black spots on its hind wings, and that'll determine that you have a male monarch with you. So I hope you would have an opportunity to do this. It's an amazing transformation to watch. It's fascinating. There's so much more to learn about monarchs, about their migration, and about the protection of our milkweed and our monarchs. So learn more by following our links. We have books and all kinds of other supplies so that you can learn more about the monarch. And just by creating this habitat, you'll learn a lot about the cycles of the monarch butterfly. As always, thanks for watching, and goodbye.